Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. Hello, everyone. Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Alyssa Bauman. She is a certified holistic nutritionist and the CEO and founder of Nourished. How you doing today, Alyssa?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Brad.
It's wonderful to have you here as a guest. How's your day going so far?
Today, well, I live in Vancouver, and it's absolutely spectacular out. And you know, when the sun is shining, my spirit really shines. So today is a great day.
Excellent. Excellent. So as a certified holistic nutritionist, now, excuse me for my, I'll use the word ignorance, but what is the difference between a certified holistic nutritionist and a nutritionist?
Well, a holistic nutritionist, what I am, it takes a whole view as opposed to a nutritionist, which is still great, really just focuses on food. So while I am a holistic nutritionist and I do start with food, what usually happens is that when we work on, you know, your diet and your lifestyle, and I like to say lifestyle as opposed to diet because
Right.
I don't believe in diets, but it's really just your food lifestyle. We do start with that, but when we start to change the way you eat and we move towards a cleaner, more whole food based lifestyle, then what happens and what I've seen happen, which is so magical, is a complete transformation of person. Okay. So that's really what the holistic approach is. So we're looking with food as the whole person, as maybe just a nutritionist just really works on this is what you should eat and this is what you should not eat. So that's really the big difference between the holistic nutrition.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you being the founder and CEO of Nourished, it's a health consulting firm. How did you come up with the name?
Oh, Brad, you know, it was funny. It just came to me because I feel like nourished, the verb being nourished, just can mean so much. But for me, it means full up, fueled up, and an opportunity for constant expansion and evolution and a constant abundance, abundance in thought, abundance in being, and abundance of who you are and who you want to be. So when I say nourished, yes, I talk about food that nourishes you, but you know, food is only one form of nourishment. I mean, we get nourishment from so many other things in our life, you know, connection, sunshine, exercise. I mean, everybody is different, but nourished to me just means so much more than just the food we eat. So I guess in a way, it goes back to your first question about, you know, taking a holistic view.
Right. Well-rounded, all around.
All around. And it was it was like one of the first, you know, names that I brainstormed, and I bounced it off like my friend and my husband, my sisters. And it was just, that was it.
That's awesome because you hear of so many people struggling to name their businesses and come up with a clever, catchy name. And the fact that it came to you just like that so easily is great.
That's probably been the easiest part of my business.
Yeah, I can imagine. How long has Nourished been in existence now?
It has been around for about 9 years. Yeah, 9 years.
So you've passed that 5-year mark
I have
that they always talk about.
5-year mark, they do. It's kind of like that 7-year itch in marriage.
Yeah.
I passed that too.
Yeah.
And things I feel like right now are just really beginning to explode, and it makes me really excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You got me on a good day.
Excellent. Well, that's always good. Every day should be a good day. It's impossible for every day to be a good day, but every day should be a good day.
It definitely should be, and I think we all wake up with the intention to make it a great day, and we all do have the power to make it a great day, but sometimes, you know, the cycle is not in flow and your hormones are out of balance and you might have not slept that great or, you know, it's very interesting, especially as a holistic nutritionist to have those days. And I do have those days, and it
everybody does, right?
You know,
but the fact that you woke up is a good day, right?
Exactly.
If you want to look at it that way.
Exactly.
So what is your approach when you get a new client that wants to work with you? How do you start with them? Is it a program that you create tailored to them, or how does that whole process work?
So right now I have a couple ways that I can work with clients. But my one-on-one right now is my biggest, and it's a 4-month commitment. And how we start is people contact me, and you know, we start and we do a very thorough health intake with very detailed questions, very personal questions, obviously confidential. And we go through them. And basically while I'm going through them, I'm pretty much creating, like you've created a business plan for your business, I'm creating their wellness plan.
Okay.
And, you know, we really do have to be in sync with one another. There has to be trust. There has to be a certain level of intimacy. And I say all of this, you know, people can't lie to me because it's just a waste of not only their time, but their money and also my time. So we go through a very detailed health intake, and then I discuss the program and I lay it out, what it kind of looks like for them. And the thing is, everybody is different because everybody has different needs for their own wellness, and we're all starting from different places. So depending on what that person needs, we do every other week a check-in where we talk either in person or on Skype or on Zoom. This whole Zoom thing is not new to me. And we speak for 50 minutes about what's going on and the recommendations that I've been given to my client to get them, you know, past and on their journey that that I've created. And we go from there. And it's pretty much about 4 months. And the reason why the program is so long is because there's really not a magic health bullet. I mean, if there was, there wouldn't be so many, you know, diet books, and the industry would be so small. It's very tailored. It's very, very tailored. So I really do coach them on, you know, what's going on, how to eat, how their body's reacting to some of the recommendations. So that is basically how we start. And the one-on-one consultation health intake is really important because I get a sense of the person. I would say that I'm really good with intuition. And I know if I'm going to be able to work with someone and if someone is going to be able to work with themselves and be true to themselves. And I really do take on the clients that really know that if now in their time is in their life is what they want to do, and this is what they want to do. They want to make the change to see a change in their own life.
Right. So that brings me to my next question is, have you had, because you had mentioned just a couple minutes ago that there has to be a good rapport there. You have to vibe with the person. Has there ever been, or have there been clients that have come to you that you just don't feel it with, you just don't vibe with, and you say, I'm sorry, we can't work together?
100%. And I don't do it in a degrading way.
No, of course.
You know, but I've had clients come to me for the wrong reason. You know, a couple people were just, you know, had addictive type personalities, and, you know, that's not my expertise. And I'm not an expert in eating disorders. When things are really out of control, they need a different type of medical help. So there has been many, many, many times that I said, you know what, I don't think this is a right time for you to work with me. I suggest seeing X, Y, and Z. And I have a whole referral system as well. So I do try to help them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know what? I know what I'm good at, and I know I don't want to waste anybody's time. You know, especially their time. And it is a big investment. I don't want to have people, you know, waste their time or their money or anything like that.
Absolutely. Well, that's very moral. I mean, there's a lot of business owners that wouldn't care, and they just see dollar signs, right? So that's good. Now, you studied nutrition and journalism in school. So was nutrition something that you always envisioned for yourself as part of your career path?
It wasn't, actually. You know, I went to Boston University, and I studied journalism, and I also studied international relations. And during the end, I had my hand in nutrition, and I really enjoyed the nutrition aspect of it. It definitely wasn't something that I even thought about. It wasn't even part of what, my dream was to become a broadcast journalism in economics and, medical correspondence. And I wanted to travel the world, being a correspondent. That's what I really, really wanted to do.
Wow.
Yeah. Nutrition was kind of like my hobby and my side thing. I'm 45 right now. So yeah. I was in college, 20 years ago. Nutrition wasn't trendy as it is
right,
today.
Right.
There wasn't, it was about dieting. Like there was no nutrition. It was, what diet are you on to, quote unquote, lose weight? So I just thought it was really interesting, nutritional science. So that's kind of what I also studied, but I didn't really think that's what I was going to do.
So how did you fall into this world? How did you get started in this world then?
Oh my goodness. Well, I, after Boston, I went to New York City, which is kind of where I'm from. And I got a job immediately because I needed to support myself. And I got a job in public relations, and I was there for like 6 months, and it wasn't my thing. I was doing music, and I just really didn't like making other people famous. I would be cold calling at the time.
Yeah.
And I quit, and I found a job as a journalist, actually, for a magazine, Wear magazine, who sent me out, tasting new restaurants and going to new bars and museums and spas and Broadway shows.
Glamorous life.
Yeah, I had the keys to the city. It was unbelievable, Brad. I would go to every restaurant in New York City, and they would wine and dine me. And I was like young 20s. It was incredible.
That's a dream job for so many people.
It was an absolute dream job for me. And I did that for about 5 years. And I noticed my health, my excitement for life. I was tired. I was sluggish. I was, I was out all night. I would pull on meters, and then I'd have to write. So I was really exhausted. But what I realized was the food I was eating was very decadent and rich. And I wasn't eating very many vegetables, and I wasn't sleeping right. And I was exhausted. As glamorous as it sounds, and it was, I was not feeling great. And then I dug back into nutrition. And this is, as I said before, you had to go to the health food store, and only hippies went to the health food stores. There wasn't Whole Foods around. It wasn't until about 2 years later when I got engaged, and my fiance got transferred to here, Vancouver.
Okay.
Which I went fully back to school, and I got my nutrition degree.
Wow.
So from there, that's when I really, really spread my wings and started to explore nutrition and the healing powers of food on our bodies. And, I was living in this beautiful city, and I wasn't going out every night. I wasn't staying up late every night. And I put my focus on the food that I was eating. I also, was pregnant with my first daughter. So my life was a lot slower, and I really welcomed that change from a girl that was running around in high heels every single night to this woman that was just learning how her body was like this amazing miracle, not just from, conceiving, but what I was putting into my body. I felt vibrant like a flower.
Talk about two ends of the spectrum. Holy shit.
Yeah. The way my life changed so fast, it was unbelievable.
Drastically.
Drastically. Yeah. I was still, so I went back to school when I got to Vancouver online, but I was still writing freelance for a couple magazines in New York City. So I did keep my hand in it, but as the years went by, the industry changes so fast, and I couldn't keep up the contacts because I was here and people would leave, and slowly and surely it kind of, faded out. I did write a travel guide to Vancouver because that's kind of what I knew, but it was, I was losing, I haven't totally lost it, but I was losing my interest in, the latest and the greatest places to be, because I was feeling that the best place to be was at home in your body. And that's kind of, how this all was born, actually.
Wow, that's quite the story. Quite the journey. Do you miss writing, though? Do you miss that at all?
Well, it's interesting that you asked me that, because I feel like now, having my own business, pretty much every aspect of my quote-unquote old life I use in my online platform and in my business here. for, when I worked at the magazine, I also, helped with photography and did a lot of food styling.
Yeah.
I do that for my website, and I do that for my Instagram page.
Okay.
I still write a ton because I have a wellness blog up on my site. So I'm still writing a ton. And as you know, with your business too, it's content. Yes. So I'm constantly writing. So everything I've learned from my PR, from my college days in broadcast journalism, my food photography, I have used on my website. And, here in Vancouver, I'm on local media once a month. So I am doing local segments about, what to eat, how to eat, or timely segments. I know I just did a segment on immunity. I'll do another segment on, coming up and how to clean up your diet. Yeah. So I am using kind of all of my old life is here.
You're still utilizing the tools in your toolbox from your past life.
Yeah, they grow, they grow and they evolve and they change.
Yeah, you're just using them for a different purpose.
Yeah.
But it's good to keep your hand in that, because I find that if you don't do something for a long time, you kind of lose that ability, not lose the ability, but it's a little bit different it's a little tougher trying to get back on the horse, kind of, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good that you're able to use it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, if you could go back and change anything about how you did things, would there be anything that you would change?
Oh, I saw this question, and it's such a loaded question. If I could go back, would you change anything about how you did things? I think that's a really difficult question to honest answer, Lee. I could say, yeah, of course, but I feel like everything that has led me to where I am now, I've learned along the way. Right. Do I wish things would have happened faster? Of course. Do I wish I didn't make these mistakes? Of course. But I think that's all part of that's a stepping stone to where you are. And I think everybody's on their own journey all the time. I mean, if I could go back, how would I change? If I could go back and knew that I have this passion for nutrition, if I knew that then, that I have this, intense connection to food and how food nourishes your body, I would have went back to medical school and become a functional doctor for sure. And studied, really, really, studied all over the world, Western medicine, Eastern medicine.
Yeah.
Yes. That's probably, I say that to my girls all the time, and they're like, oh, you should go back to med school. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so.
Very cool. But I mean, this is all part of our journey, and things happen for a reason, and things happen the way they were meant to happen, right? I mean, yes, we have choices and we have a hand in how things go, but the timing.
How would I ever have known, when I was 19 years old, going to college and picking quote unquote a major, that I wanted to be pre-med. I mean, that was the farthest from my head.
Yeah.
Only the boys that were good in math and science went to pre-med, right?
Yeah.
Well, I am so, beating that sense out of my three girls.
Good.
I want them to know that they can do anything they want.
Absolutely. And that's where it starts, is when they're young. You got to drill that into them starting from a young age. So they end up, it's so ingrained in them that there's no other options.
Yep.
What excites you about being an entrepreneur?
Everything. I love that I can make my own schedule. I love that so much that I'm not glued to, corporate life 9 to 5. I feel really grateful every day that I get to move my body in the morning. I don't have to be at the desk. Obviously I have deadlines and I have clients, but I get to schedule all of that on my time. Mm-hmm. As I said before, I'm grateful that I get to be, there for my kids as much as I want to be, or as much as they need me. That's really, really important to me to be with them as they grow, to help them grow, to support them. Especially now, I think more than ever, I think children need such a different, so much guidance. I mean, when I was younger, my mom, I was a latchkey kid. My mom was divorced, and I pretty much, my sisters raised me. I'm ever so grateful for that. And I just think it's just such a hard time now. It's such a different world, such a different life. I'm just grateful that I can make my own schedule to, every single day. Another thing that I love is that every single day is different.
Yeah.
And every single day is up to me and what I want it to be.
Awesome. What are some of the challenges you faced early on in your business, and how did you overcome them?
It's, that constant voice that we all have in our head, or at least that I have in my head, that I'm not good enough, that I can't do it, that she's doing so much better than I am. The monsters and the demons, and they're still there.
Yeah.
I just now understand how to manage them better.
Yeah.
And it's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not this big glamorous thing that everybody thinks it is. I mean, it's a constant grind of getting out there, getting new business, putting yourself out there, new content for me. How am I going to be different? How are my programs different than the other 3 million online? So it is constantly very challenging, but in the same aspect, it's all part of building up your personal development and also my personal brand for myself.
Yeah. The reward is so great, though, when you're able to work for yourself and you see your business come to fruition. You see the ideas that you implement in your business. You see them come to fruition and come alive. It's so rewarding.
That's where I see it. Yeah, I see that right now. I mean, I just said I'm 9 years in, and I've had lots of successes. Don't get me wrong, and I'm on TV all the time, and I've guided hundreds of women through their own personal development and empowerment, and really helped women, gain new tools to help them through their difficult times. And for me, that is so rewarding. So, yeah, it is a very exciting time right now.
But I think a lot of people jump into entrepreneurship thinking it's going to be easy and, you get to pick your own hours. You don't have to work when you don't want to. It's quite the opposite.
I'm always working. I mean, sometimes my hours are weird, but I can wake up in the middle of the night at 3:00 in the morning and I'm wide awake, or I forgot something, then I just hop over to my computer.
Yeah.
I have to set those boundaries. It's really important I set those boundaries.
It is, for sure. It's a different life. It's a different animal. I think you have to be a certain type of person. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Definitely not. I mean, I know my husband, he is a corporate guy, and the great thing about his job is that he leaves it. When time is done and he's done, he's bye-bye, he walks away. And I think that's really rewarding too, that you don't have to, he's not on his email all day.
Yeah.
When he's home, right? I'm not, I'm checking things.
Yeah, exactly. Some people just need that structure.
Totally.
Which you really don't have with being an entrepreneur. I mean, although like you said, you do have to set boundaries and you have to do things.
You have to set boundaries, and every single day I wake up, I'm like, hey, this is what my day looks like. And if I don't do that, then, there's my voices come in. My agenda and my calendar keeps me on track. It really does. It's one of the biggest tools that I could recommend to anybody starting their own business, or it's have your day planned out. Yeah, of course, if there is room for spontaneity and if you have to wander for something, but have an idea, a framework of what has to get done today, what you want to get done today, what your deadline is today for yourself. And Absolutely. To me, that is I live by my calendar.
Yeah. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that helped you become successful?
Going back to business, I deeply care about my people that I work with. I truly believe that, and most of my clients are women. Mm-hmm. I have coached some couples before, but really it is the woman that is the nurturer.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that every single, person has a gift and has something to give. And I think what makes me good at what I do is that I'm able to pull that out of that individual, and I'm able to shine a spotlight on it for them. Kind of like what we were talking about with you in your business. Yeah. I let them see themselves in a different light.
It's a great ability, and it's a great rewarding feeling when you can help someone see who they truly are and see what's inside themselves.
It sure is. And, I never knew myself. I never knew I had that ability until I started this. And that has been, yes, I love my nutrition, but just being able to turn the spotlight and showing someone, how incredible that other person has been such a surprise, has been a surprise to me in this business. And I've helped so many women who, were worried about their pants not fitting or worried about, things that, yes, are important, but at the end of the day, what's really important is them being able to turn any of their negative into something positive. So I've been really blessed to see, women through that.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Do you have any big projects that you're currently working on that you'd like to share?
I do actually. As we were talking earlier, it's been such an interesting time this time in our lives. I am completely rebranding.
Okay.
My website, which has been a really fun endeavor, also extremely stressful and time consuming. But
you're making use of the time.
I'm making use of the time. I just feel like I created my website 10 years ago.
Yep.
And I just don't really feel like the feel of it and the vibe of it and the colors of it and the direction of it and even the technicality of it. I think it's really hard to navigate. And I also think the internet has changed so much and people want really quick, simple information. So I have been rebranding and it's really exciting. I'm also changing the way I'm going to be guiding people with nutrition. So I still am doing my one-on-one and I'm still doing my packages, but I'm also doing a subscription-based monthly packages, which is new for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm really very, very excited. And I hope that this launches me into a book that I've been wanting to write for a very long time.
Awesome. That would be incredible.
Kind of not a cookbook because I think there's a lot of great cookbooks out there, but more of a guide, like a guidebook of what works and how to live your most nourished life.
So those are the two. There's a great title right there. How to live your most nourished life.
It's actually navigating Nourished is something of the working title that I've been playing with.
Very cool. I love it.
Yeah. So the projects are exciting.
Up to now, what would you say is your biggest high, your greatest win?
My family.
Yeah.
I'm going to be celebrating my 18th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, well, happy anniversary early.
Yes, thank you. And I have 3 very interesting, beautiful, and very different daughters. So I would say that those are my life's greatest, so far, my greatest achievements, my wins. Not easy being married for 18 years,
No, marriage is a work in progress always, right? You always have to work at it.
It is an evolution.
Yeah, for sure. What profession other than the one you are currently in would you like to attempt?
Oh, right. The doctor one. I wish I was a all-star tennis pro. I think that would have been really cool if I focused all my energy playing tennis because I love the sport. I don't play enough of it.
Yeah.
What other profession? I don't know. I'm stumped,
Professional tennis player. There you go.
Okay, a tennis player, yeah.
There we go. We'll go with that one. What sound or noise do you absolutely love?
I love the sound of the ocean. I love the sound of waves. When I'm near it, I feel calm. I love the freedom that I get from it. I love my feet in the water of it. I love the ocean, whether it's the Atlantic or the Pacific or the Aegean. I love to have my fingers and toes in the water. I love to be in the water. God, I love the ocean. I love the waves.
You're making me want to go.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Toronto.
What is your favorite word or one of your favorite words?
Intimacy.
Intimacy.
That was a hard one. I did have to think about that. I think intimacy has there's so much meaning in that word. And yes, we think of lovers and sex, but I just think we all crave connection, and we all crave a deeper understanding of each other. And I know when I get off a phone call or, great chat with a face-to-face with a girlfriend or a sister or someone, and we've just, had a moment together, or even if you have a moment with a stranger, that feeling of connection, that feeling of like, God, I get you, you get me. Like, I don't have to, that's it.
There's no feeling like it in the world.
There isn't. And it doesn't come easily. It doesn't come easily for a lot of people to be vulnerable. It also just doesn't come easily. People sometimes are scared of it. They don't want it. I'm not a small talk girl. I hate small talk. And, being in this space with where we are in the world right now is making me realize that, like, I don't actually have to do small talk anymore. Like, we can just get right down to it. Yeah.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
You say that with such oomph and
zest.
It.
I love the word fuck. I love it. It means something good. The verb is fantastic. It can mean something really bad. I just think there's so many intonations of that word. I like that word. It's a good fucking word.
If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
My God, I feel like I'm playing a game with my children. This is their favorite question. We always go through this question today. And that changes. I love animals. Mm-hmm. Like, I love animals so much. I think today it would be, knowing what's going on in their heads. I have a dog, and he was up all night barking at I don't know what. I know it's a full moon right now, and I just wish I knew what was going on in there, because I just think animals are just such exquisite creatures.
Yeah.
I've always been an animal lover. Uh-huh. But we finally got a family pet 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And since we've had him and seen, how emotional he is to things, he's really changed our life. Like, we don't eat meat anymore. Okay. And I'm not an animal activist whatsoever. I could be, I guess. I should be, I guess. I would be. I don't know what kind of word I should want to use there, but I'm just not. I haven't gotten there yet. But, since we got him, he's even for a nutritionist, I've changed my eating since we've gotten him.
Oh. Yeah, I have 2 dogs, and I always wonder. I would love to know what they're thinking. Just, when you look at your pet and they look at you as certain, like, what is going through their heads right now? I would love to know.
I know. I think right now these pets are like, please don't take me for another walk. I just want to sleep. I don't want to go outside again.
I've been on 12 walks today. That's enough.
I know. Have you seen...
We're just trying to keep busy, right?
Right, exactly. We're just trying to get outside again.
Exactly. What is a passion of yours that you rarely share with people, and why not?
I love to dance. Like, I love to dance. I just don't dance enough. I mean, I do my cardio dance, and I dance, I go out sometimes and dance.
Yeah.
But I wish, and maybe it's something that I want to, bring back into my life, is just more dance. I want to just dance in front of the mirror and just crank up the tunes and just go crazy. And I just haven't done that in a while, and I don't know why. So thank you for that question, because maybe that's a great push.
There you go. There you go. You can dance in front of your mirror and go nuts tonight.
Yeah.
And then when we come out the other side of this thing, you can go out dancing.
Yeah, we'd like to go dancing. I'd like to take some dance classes.
Yeah. Awesome. It's funny. I had a guest on yesterday. I was speaking with someone, and she is a salsa teacher, and she does instruction online.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, for my 40th, I guess I do share the hobby. I mean, for my 40th, my mother just passed away, and I didn't want to do anything big. And I think in a woman's life, a 40th is pretty big milestone for her birthday. And I hired a salsa dancer to come over, and it was just my kids and I and my husband, and we did salsa dancing for my
Very 40th. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was a good one. as good as it could have been anyway.
What is one of your favorite quotes?
Oh, that's a hard one. I have so many.
Okay, give me two.
I guess my best one sometimes is Marilyn Monroe, and she says, "Drink champagne, think champagne, be champagne."
Interesting. I've never heard that one before.
That gets me out of a funk sometimes. It gets me out of the days sometimes, and it's always top of mind.
Very cool. What was a turning point in your life, and how did it affect you?
That was definitely the passing of my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was here and she was in New York. I was there at the time, but it was very hard for me to manage 3 young kids on the West Coast and also being there as much as I possibly could on the East Coast. And I think I did the best I could. Yeah. And I was there, at least once a month, but it was a long, long struggle. It was really a very, very dark time in my life. Very dark.
I'm sorry to hear.
Thank you. It's just, yeah.
Part of the journey, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think death is never easy, ever easy for anybody, for anybody's parents going. But I think, so much was wrapped in on that because we were so far apart. It just made it that much harder.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally understandable.
But I feel like now, 5 years in, I can celebrate her differently than I did, with the constant image of her struggling. So, I know grief is a strange thing and people grieve very differently.
Absolutely.
But I think once you get past and it takes a long time, when you get to start being able to look at the memories, then that starts living in your heart. Someone said that grief is really just love without a place to go, and that struck me so much, and that really helped.
Very interesting. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
I love that.
With us, and my job is to make sure that my children remember her, and we talk about her. So I try to do it that way.
Speaking of your children, you've got 3 daughters. What does the word empowerment mean to you, and how do you teach them to feel and be empowered? Because as we said before, this all starts at a young age with girls especially, and teaching them these things and driving these values home. So how do you bestow that upon your children, and what does it mean to you?
Big question. Really big question. It has been my job to make sure that I'm raising really strong, bold, courageous women who depend on themselves and nobody else.
Yeah.
I have 3 daughters, and resilience is key. Get back up, and really helping them understand that their days and their lives are not always going to go the way that they planned. And it's about how they can turn that around and how they can get back up. Because really at the end of the day, it's the reactions, it's the reactions. I want them to be, I want them to find their passion and to run with it. I want them to solve their own problems. I want them to be inspired from within. I want them to be strong from within. I want them to have a solid foundation of who they are. I think those things are so essential. It's just so essential. I feel like in our society, sometimes we're celebrating the wrong type of people, and I encourage them to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Is that they learn from mistakes. There's a great little kids books. It's called the Greatest Oops, and it's just about making mistakes and learning from your mistakes, because you're going to make a mistake, and there's no such thing as perfect.
No.
I'm trying to teach them there's no such thing as perfect. It's about progress, and every day if we can make some progress and do something that feels good within your body, feels good within your mind. That to me is empowerment, empowering them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
And not being held back.
I love it. Yeah. You had mentioned, excuse me, about teaching your daughters that they don't need to depend on anyone except themselves. And my wife and I instilled the same thing in our daughters when they were from a young age. You never, ever need to depend on, especially a man. You do not need to depend on a man. You depend on yourself. That way you can never be disappointed. You get shit your way. You work at it. You put in the work. You do what you want to do, and you attain things on your own. Don't depend on people to help to obtain things. You don't need people in your life to do things for you. The only one you really have when it comes down to it is yourself.
It's funny that you say that, because I have written down here right under the question, your last question that you gave me is, have the courage, take the risk, fuck what anyone thinks, what you look like, what people say about you, what people think about you, fuck that. And the only person you need to worry about disappointing is yourself.
That's right.
So it's really, your question, if you could go back and give your younger self one, piece of advice, is really the advice I'm giving my kids.
Yeah.
And I still try to live them. I mean, I think it's harder for me, maybe harder for my older daughter too, because we're, I just, have the courage, take the risk, and do what matters most to you.
But I think if we start instilling all these, again, this goes back to drilling these things into our children's heads when they're young. So it becomes innate. It's part of them. And it's part of their being. It's who they are. It's who they become.
Who they are. Exactly. It's just who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
I would say to start every day by celebrating 5 things about yourself. I think someone told me that, and I think I actually just put that on my Instagram feed today or yesterday. But if you could, instead of looking at yourself and, thinking about what you don't have.
Yeah.
I don't think materialist, I'm not talking about that.
Right.
What you do have, and you start thinking about them and focusing on them and celebrating them. I think that it's an amazing way to start your day, and it's an amazing piece of advice to give people, because all of a sudden it just changes your mindset.
Yeah. And that's what it all begins with, is your mindset. Everything starts with your mindset.
We are only prisoners of our mind.
And that can be a hell of a prison to live in too.
Oh yeah.
It can be really tough sometimes. Yeah, I started a little while ago trying to, at night before I go to sleep, 3 things I'm thankful for that happened that day and how I want to feel in the morning when I wake up.
Gratitude practice. They say it's a practice for a reason, but it is, I think, one of the most powerful practices that you can bring into your life. And I've seen it transform myself. And I think a lot of people don't give it enough credit, and they do it for 2 or 3 days, but it really is a practice. It's a daily practice.
It's hard. It's hard. You have to stay on it. You have to stay with it. You have to keep at it.
Just like health. Healthy is a daily practice. There's small things and small changes that we can do every single day. And gratitude is one of them. So instead of, saying, oh, I wish I had this, be like, well, look what I have.
Yeah.
Look at all of I have.
Flip the script and just look at it differently. See it through different eyes. Look at it from the outside.
Oh, that reminds me of another one of my favorite quotes.
Sure.
Another one is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
I love that. I just saw that quote. I think it was about 2 days ago. I saw that.
Yeah, that's a great one too. I love that one.
It is, for sure. How do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
Well, that's another loaded question. I can tell you that for me, it doesn't start with what most people think success is, lots of money in the big mansion. That's not what I feel is successful, as if that would be nice for some people. But I really think that an innate sense of inner happiness, which obviously fleets from day to day. So I feel like your daily success can changes all the time.
Yeah.
I think that just inner happiness, that balance between work and life, if you can say there's a balance, feeling like you've done really great things with your work, and you've empowered people for me, and you've helped, women reclaim their body and reclaim their mind. And then, also coming home and having, a beautiful meal with my children and my husband, and having some fun and some giggles, maybe getting a little dance in there. I mean, movement. I think all of these things help me define what success is.
I asked that question of all of my guests, and not one of them has ever said money. Not one.
That's great. I guess we're all changing then.
It is, for sure. I'm glad that people don't see it that way. I mean, of course, there are people out there who think success equals money, or money equals success, whatever you want to say. But
right.
It's not. It's really, it comes down to your happiness.
Yeah, it comes down to your inner peace inside. And that does change, as I said. I mean, there's days that you don't feel so successful. And you know it. You feel it. I mean, you can't hide that, and you can't run from that.
No.
But yeah.
But that's also one of the struggles as an entrepreneur, is success of your business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The daily struggle.
The daily struggle. If you want it to be a struggle, and then sometimes I flip the switch and I'm like, okay, well, how is it a struggle? Let's not look at it as a struggle. Let's look at it in the other way. How are you, what are you achieving today? How are you doing it?
Again, look at the picture through a different frame of mind.
Yeah. Different lens.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Alyssa, for being a guest on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Thank you for sharing your experiences, your insights, your advice, all of it. It's been so great chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me. You too. It's been as we say, the connection piece of the puzzle feels so good.
Yes, it does. Very genuine. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography Podcast. My guest today has been Alyssa Bauman. She is a holistic nutritionist, founder, owner, CEO of Nourished. Have a wonderful day, Alyssa. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.